వచ్చినా అగ్నిగుండాలెదురు వచ్చినా గుండుకెదురు జాయేంగే గోండు రాజ్యం లాయేంగే ये रगल झंडा ऊंचा रहे हमारा ये जंगल जमीन जल हमारी.
At the point where Andhra Pradesh meets Chhatisgarh meets Odisha, there are jungles and brigands and questions over development. There are green uniformed red warriors and camouflage-clad defenders of the state. This is part of Dandakaranya. This is where the Red Corridor is at its most defined, and this is where abductions take place to humble the administration.
He is in safe custody till now, and the interlocutor...
February 16, 2011, Malkangiri District Collector abducted.
Secure his immediate release.
March 18th, 2012, Italian tourists abducted.
The Odisha state government has bowed down to the Maoist pressure.
March 24th, 2012, Odisha MLA abducted. April 21st, 2012, Sukma District Collector abducted. In these jungles of South Chhatisgarh and Southern Odisha, hidden by deep forest cover, Naxals may have consolidated their base, but there is also a band of dedicated government servants hard at work, trying to woo the land and its people back to the fold that is the Union of India. It's not yet 6 o'clock in the morning, and me and camera person Zahir, we are in the Malkangiri forest. We have been traveling through this Maoist country. Our aim is to talk to the IS officers who are posted in this region, particularly the collectors, and try and find out what is it that motivates them, what is it that drives them to do the work of the government in this area. In districts like Bastar, Dantewada, Bijapur, Sukma, Malkangiri, Raigada and Koraput, there are young IS officers who have taken charge as collectors, and they are pushing for change, driven by the energy and optimism of youth, sustained by the results that they reap out of sheer determination.
These 4 blocks happen to be the constituency of the abducted MLA.
The distance between the common man and the collector is in a way inversely proportionate to the amount of security or the paraphernalia we take along with it. So when somebody is a common man sees a huge crowd, a lot of officers, a lot of guns, a lot of uniforms, he might think twice before coming in front of the collector and complain something or ask for something. But as a common man, when we go, probably they might approach us a little more faster.
People are trapped in this dichotomy, this increased aspirations, and they are not seeing the results because it will take generations to come to that level. And lack of proper leadership, lack of proper coaching, lack of proper that space is created, that is taken of advantage by vested interests. They create propaganda. Government is doing nothing. Is it a fact?
मेरी सारी पोस्टिंग्स सभी जगह हो चुकी छत्तीसगढ़ में. मैंने लास्ट 7 इयर्स में ऑलमोस्ट सभी एरिया में पोस्टिंग्स किया. सरगुजा में किया, कोरबा में किया, जांजगीर चांपा में किया, रायपुर कैपिटल में 2 साल म्यूनिसिपल कमिश्नर रहा. बस्तर रीजन मेरा रह गया था और मैं मेरा मन था कि इस एरिया में एक बार काम करूं अच्छे से, और ये थी मेरी इच्छा और मैंने रिक्वेस्ट किया था, तो मतलब बाय चॉइस आई एम हियर.
Driving on the highway after sunset, there is enough traffic to feel safe. But police checking at night still remains routine yet random. Routine yet random is what dictates life in large areas of these Naxal-affected districts. The defining characters of both terms are easily interchangeable. Normalcy is routine, terror is random. When an attack or an abduction happens, the terror drill turns routine and normal life is at best lived at random. Good and evil are often interwoven into the fabric of life here, and perception holds the key to understanding.
Many a times our laws and schemes are made based on a assumption that things are like the invariables. But when they become, there are too many variables working on an environment, so that becomes very important, especially for an administrator to understand these variables, at least to foresee the variables actually.
Dandakaranya, the forest of the demon Dandak, today has its own demons to fight. It has seen its spate of extreme violence by forces fighting the concept of India and those that have received the backing and blessings of the state. In Chhatisgarh, both the opposition and the ruling party had been very clear in their objective of being anti-Naxal, beyond the call of politics. For a few years, the retaliatory forces of Salwa Judum had matched the Maoists' brutality for brutality. Hidden by the forest, away from the glare of publicity, great sorrow and anger had scourged the land. Today, amongst the young administrators, there is tacit acceptance that the state had in the past failed in the discharge of its responsibilities.
You tell any propagandist, any Naxal, any Maoist, or somebody who speaks on behalf of them, you tell them to go to developed areas and advocate their philosophy. They have nothing to do with development. If they had anything to development, they could have helped us in development.
At this cattle fair out here, everything apparently seems so normal, so natural. There's no security threat out here during the daytime or to the locals. The people that I spoke to out here, they said that security is not a problem for the locals or for the tribals. It is only a problem for the police, or it is a problem for the senior government staff. And at times, this is what the local people said, that at times what happens is, even government officials, they take off the red beacons on their cars or they travel in private vehicles.
We were moving as a motorcycle convoy, so after all our motorcycles crossed, there was a blast. Once I thought that whether today morning I have properly said goodbye to my son or not, whether I said goodbye to my wife or not. The security personnel was just hiding along with me. This firing started. So he just told me that साहब अपना सिर और अच्छे से नीचे रखिए तो गोली लग जाएगा. गोली लगेगा तो बात खत्म.
Before I got posted here, the neighboring district collector, the collector of Malkangiri, he was abducted. And jokingly we also used to say that next number is mine if I go to that area.
कुछ पर्चे आए थे और उस दिन जिस दिन एलेक्स पॉल मेनन का अबडक्शन हुआ था, उस दिन मेरे लिए भी बताया जाता है कि प्लानिंग थी इनकी, और मेरे को एक दिन पहले और उस दिन भी मेरे लोअर लेवल स्टाफ ने फ़ोन करके बोला था कि आप बंगले से मत निकलिएगा.
These young collectors have come from different parts of India and have adopted and adapted to their karm bhoomi. The collector of Bastar is 2004 batch IS, born and brought up in Coimbatore, who could hardly utter a word of Hindi when he passed his civil services exam.
Of course, I was not knowing Hindi. In Tamil Nadu there is no third language, so we are not taught Hindi. So after coming to the academy, and more specifically after coming to the state, I started learning Hindi, and now that I can say that my Hindi is better, and in fact reading, writing, everything is fine. My learning of Hindi is from files, so my Hindi is more prashasnik, that is more administrative than being a common man's Hindi.
Dantewada was once a part of Bastar district. It now has a homegrown collector who is also the first IS officer from Chhatisgarh.
ठीक है, ये एप्लीकेशंस आए हैं. कितने एप्लीकेशन हैं? अभी 95.
Om Prakash was the first one to pass his civil services after the state was formed in the year 2000. It is this collector's dream to turn Dantewada into a hub for education.
किसी भी इंडिया की लाइब्रेरी में जो बेस्ट बुक्स हो सकती वो सारे बुक्स हम यहाँ पे रखें.
Because according to him, it is only through exposure that the region will change.
हमारा ये कहना है कि धीरे धीरे करके एक गांव में 5 इंजीनियर बन गए, 5 डॉक्टर बन गए, तो अपने आप सारे बच्चों में उसका डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन इफेक्ट आ जाएगा कि मतलब आप जस्ट मतलब आप सोचें कोई आईएएस ऑफिसर है या कोई डॉक्टर है, इंजीनियर है, कार में या लाल बत्ती लगी हुई गाड़ी में गांव जाता है तो उसके माँ बाप को जो खुशी होती है, उसके लोगों को जो खुशी होती है, उसको जो सम्मान मिलता है, वो सैकड़ों बच्चों में मतलब डिमॉन्स्ट्रेशन इफेक्ट पैदा कर सकता है.
The present collector of Malkangiri was acting deputy collector when his boss got abducted by the Naxals last year. The 2007 batch IS jumped at the opportunity when he got promoted to collector. A mechanical engineer from Maharashtra, the Koraput district collector is also 2007 batch, and he now not only speaks Odia fluently but soon plans to write and publish books in that language.
Just wondering when I will get out
But
of
Sachin Jadav's experience from his home state has made him realize that in this still to develop district under his charge, he's only a facilitator.
making a change. I don't have this funny idea that one person is able to make a change, and that too a government servant bound by several rules. He is able to make change. I don't have these kind of ideas in my mind. These are megalomaniac ideas in my opinion. The change happens when the people at large, they desire. Leadership emerges among them, and the people led by a capable leadership, they are able to make a change. It comes from within the society. Nobody from outside who claims to be a demigod or an avatar of a god and he will come and he will make a change. I don't believe in that kind of thing. But yes, opportunity to contribute to the change, opportunity to contribute to a development, to a positive step, that definitely matters. And Koraput has offered me that, definitely, no doubt about that.
It's a beautiful but harsh land. Here no quarter is given. The fight is over development. The Maoists, the Naxals claim that infrastructure development has not reached the tribal people. They have been exploited. The government in its turn tries to take infrastructure and development to these people. It's a fight for the hearts and minds of the locals. Bridges, telecommunication, electricity, that's what the government wants to take. And those are exactly the things that the Maoists don't allow to come here. That's what the government claims.
The conflict situations arise because the cost of development is very costly here. If you take Tamil Nadu, from where I am coming from, the average population density of Tamil Nadu is more than 500 people per square kilometer, whereas for Bastar, between 40 and 80. So for a population of 500, what you are spending, you just think the same thing, the same kind of amount of time, same amount of energy, same amount of money has to be put in for creation of another school, another road or another electricity line in this Bastar region also on the same cost, but the beneficiary ratio per capita expenditure on getting somebody an electricity line or getting somebody a school, that becomes a difficult one.
बच्चा है कोई तो वो दुनिया देखे, स्ट्रीट लाइट देखे, चौड़ी सड़क देखे, मूवी देखे, उसकी जो दुनिया लिमिटेड हो गई है, एक कुएं के मेंढक की तरह वो बन गया है. उससे बाहर की दुनिया क्या है, कैसे एजुकेशन क्या होता है, उसके क्या फ़ायदे होते हैं, वो सब चीज़ें देखे समझे.
Speaking to the collectors, we came to know that they drive very fast. They drive in unmarked vehicles. They have their own personal security with them. But it's not that whole big security paraphernalia that is evident at other fixed functions. So that's how they do their work, and they say they feel that it has to be done. That's part of the risk that they have to take, because of the threat they just can't keep sitting in their offices. They have to go out and do what needs to be done.
In order to summarize, I said, if I want to visit each and every habitation, it will take at least 1 day to visit one habitation, at least 1 day. I've been here since last 1 year, it's 365 days. Even if every day I leave aside all my work, every day I want to visit one village, I can visit only 365 villages or habitations. in 1 year. To visit all these habitations, I need 4,558 days. In addition to that, I have several other works. All the government departments, they operate through the collector. It is not a centralized work. It is not a personal work. It is not an enlightened monarchy kind of thing, that the monarch is sitting and he is doing things. No.
The distance between the administrator and the people has tremendously come down. Now, most of the younger officers, including myself, we become little tech savvy, so we would like to use as much as possible ICT. The system is now going more people friendly because everything is changing along with the time.
In this red-tinged land, abduction is primarily about gaining or losing face. Now, if the abductors manage to abduct somebody seemingly effortlessly, then what it does is it establishes that it has cocked a snook at the government, and that possibly negates months, years of the government claiming that everything is coming back to normal. So when a high-profile public servant, government official like a collector gets abducted, what it does is that it doesn't make him very popular with his seniors or political masters, because in these parts the message is very clear: don't act the Superman, because the state has to win every time, whereas the Maoists needs to win only once.
मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि आज मैं भाग्यवादी नहीं हूँ, मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि आज मैं धर्म से डरने वाला, जो धर्म की विडंबनाएं हैं, जो धर्म के आडंबर हैं, उनसे डरने वाला व्यक्ति नहीं हूँ। मेरे पर्सनैलिटी को, मेरे व्यक्तित्व को मार्क्सिज्म ने ये शेप दिया है, और आज भी मैं मार्क्सिज्म का इम्पैक्ट अपने ऊपर मानता हूँ इस रूप में कि समाज के आखिरी वर्ग के व्यक्ति के लिए काम करना है। लेकिन जो हिंसा वाली बातें हैं कि सीधा गन उठाना है, सीधा लोगों को मारना है, ये सब चीज़ें मुझे लगता है कि कोई रास्ता नहीं है। सामाजिक परिवर्तन लाना है तो सामाजिक परिवर्तन सकारात्मक तरीके से भी लाया जा सकता है। एजुकेशन के लिए काम करके, लोगों के लाइवलीहुड, उनके आजीविका के लिए काम करके, उनकी स्किल के लिए काम करके, उनको एक बेटर मैन पावर बनाकर, एक बेटर ह्यूमन रिसोर्स के रूप में इस एरिया के लोगों को, हमारे आदिवासी भाइयों को हम डेवलप करके एक सोशल चेंज, एक सामाजिक परिवर्तन सकारात्मक रूप में ला सकते हैं।
A revolution, if Maoism, you see at Maoism as a revolution, if you see as that, I would not like to see it as a revolution, because in my opinion revolution happens for good, not for bad. If it is happening for bad, I would not like to call it revolution. If you see in one line, if you think linearly, then what you say has a great substance, but it is a complicated web of interests, so many interests, this Naxalism. It would be wrong if we completely say that because there is no development, there is Naxalism. The aim and objective of Naxal movement is to overthrow the Indian state and capture it. That means actually they are not bothered about development. They are bothered about capturing the power of the state.
But whatever be the odds that they are working under, these young IS officers, these collectors are primarily very enthused at working in the region, being given crucial yet backward districts to handle.
Nobody wants to say that I am happy and prosperous, to the collector at least. They want to say, ठीक नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. Because the expectation is that if I tell something that I am happy and everything is fine, probably the government, the system may not give anything. So the impression goes like, कुछ नहीं है साहब, पानी कैसे गिरा है, अच्छा नहीं गिरा है, तो फसल कैसे है, ठीक है. If he says ठीक है, it means that it's fine.
Basic things that are required here. Even
these officers have grabbed at the opportunity because they feel that the scope for doing something tangible and effective is to be found here. It is like a blank canvas that has been given an artist, and these young collectors are racing against time, trying to complete what they started. To see their dream projects begin delivering before their tenure ends, and their presence gets confined to the ubiquitous former collectors board. In the office, that they proudly occupy today.
When we go in a right direction, we find that satisfaction that yes, we are delivering, we know that where it started and where it is running.
We have covered these two parts. It is full of, I had never thought that IIS is full of so many opportunities. It exposes you to so many things at one time. That attracted me, and once I got into that thing, then it kept me driving.
नक्सल एरिया में तो तेज चलना ही पड़ता है ना, तेज स्पीडली चलना पड़ता है। ये बेसिक फंड है, हर ड्राइवर की हैबिट रहती है तेज चलाने की। मतलब आप 100 प्लस की स्पीड में हो अगर रोड में, तो ब्लास्ट जनरली नहीं हो सकता।